on live on YouTube. All right. Neil, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. Welcome everybody. I can see we have about 4 or 5, 6 participants in the room here. Let me just have a quick look. Cool. Well, welcome everybody to the Algorithmic Options Trading Seminar or Webinar. My name is Neil Murphy. I'm the instructor for the course, and this is Robert Resnick. He owns the company. He's the big cheese, as we like to call him. So I'm going to set up what we're going to do today is go through a slideshow today and talk about how we teach algorithmic options trading to you, or what the potential is for you, and kind of walk through it. And if you have any questions, I would just like to point out that there's a chat room, or there's a chat, you'll see on your screen a chat. Just at any time during there, please, ask a question. We're very happy to stop and answer questions. We like it when it goes back and forth a lot more than when we're just talking away. So by all means, ask questions during the webinar. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And I guess we'll get going. So the Algorithmic Options Trading course is a bit of a new course. Excuse me for a second. I have a frog in my throat. It's a bit of a new course for Lumiwealth. We've run it once, and our next session is coming up, and we will teach you in that course all the basics of trading options and trading options algorithmically. Here's the agenda for the webinar today. We'll make this bigger, I guess. And so we're going to find out who's on the call with us. We'd like to just have everybody kind of go around, do an introduction. We're going to talk about algorithmic options trading. We're going to show you some demos on how we create bots and how you can trade bots. And when you get to the end of the course, you're going to be able to trade, have a full trading bot, and it'll look like the demos that we're going to show you. And then we'll talk in detail about the course and answer any final questions at the end. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink of water. Sorry about that. Hey, sorry about that. Okay. So what we'd like to do, just so we can get started, there's not that many people on the call here today. So maybe if we could all just go around in the chat room and just say, what's your occupation? Do you know how to program right now? And how much investment experience do you have in years? Maybe I'll start and just kind of give you a bit of my background. So my occupation is I'm a full-time coder, and I only do algorithmic trading coding. I don't do any other types of coding. If you need a website made, I'm not your guy. But if you need algorithmic trading done, I'm definitely your guy. I have so yes, I do know how to program, obviously. I program predominantly in Python, but I'm picking up a few new languages now, starting with Java. And how much investment experience do I have? I have a lot of investment experience. I have way more investment experience than I have coding experience. Coding was a late life shift for me. It was always something I wanted to do. So I picked it up about 4 years ago. But I've been in investments my whole life. I was a stockbroker for many, many, many years. Worked advising clients both on trading stocks, options, futures, doing their financial plans, setting up their wills, all that kind of stuff. I also worked at a big bank in Canada, where we were doing setting up software for branches across the country to be able to do financial planning for their clients, and it was a big program. Worked in the States for a while with an online bank down there called wingspanbank.com, and worked overseas in London and Belgium with technology companies as well. But now I'm here today, and that's what I do. So let's have a look and see. Did we get some chats here? So yeah, if you wouldn't mind just popping in the chat on Zoom, just give us a quick idea of who's on the call with us. That'd be great. Maybe Robert, you could go through your occupation and your programming and whatnot, and maybe by the time you're done, we'll have a couple people introduce themselves.
Yeah, for sure. So my occupation is I'm a CEO of Lumiwealth, right? So this is a company that we started about 2 years ago. It's grown quite a bit since then. What we really focus on at Lumiwealth is we focus on helping people use code to improve their investments, right? I have a very strong belief in the future of investing being a lot to do with software. So that's what we're working on, really. Do I know how to code? Yes, I know how to code. I've been coding for 20, 25 years, something like that. It's been a very long time. Managed a lot of software teams. But back in the day, I worked at several different fintech companies, including one recently that went public. It's worth a couple $1 billion, which is pretty cool to found that kind of company. This is employee number 4 there. So I definitely have a lot of coding experience, and then investment experience. I've been investing for quite some time, since I think probably 2006. I want to say I got started. So it's been 15 years, something like that, right? Not as much as Neil. I know Neil has been around the block. He used to be a trader and all that sort of stuff. I think Neil and I, we have the flipped experience, right? Neil has more of the Wall Street or investing experience, and I have more of the programming experience. We got something here from Ricardo.
Hey, Ricardo, how you doing? Thanks for popping up and letting us know a bit about yourselves. So you work with a startup. You took a Python course last year, and you know some HTML, and I think you mean JavaScript or ActionScript.
Is a little different, yeah.
Okay, cool. I actually haven't even heard of that. And you've been investing since 2007. Well, welcome, and we're glad you're here today, and we hope that we can share some information with you.
Yeah, it's funny how it says, I don't think anyone uses that language anymore, because I haven't heard of that for a long time. ActionScript. This is probably why you haven't heard of it, Neil. This is like back in the day when you used to make stuff on I believe the web. ActionScript was so.
Make it on the what?
I believe it's an old web technology. That's what it is.
Hello. So hey, Stefan, how you doing? He's a full-time marketer, trader for 7 years. He's algo trading for 2 years. Little to no experience as far as coding experience. Really cool. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming here. It's always great to have a mix of experience in the course. And I know the last course we had a mix of really good programmers and a mix of people who really knew the markets really well, and it's a nice blend, because we have an opportunity for people to get together in our own community chat rooms, and they can share information and help each other when they set up. Typically, we'll set up a time where people can come together and do that. So a good mix is great. Script was used to program Flash websites. That explains it. One time, one time everybody thought Flash was going to be the way of the future. And
basically.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys. So okay, cool. We got to know a couple of you and introduced ourselves, and we're going to kind of go through a little bit of what we're doing and how it might be able to help you out. It looks like Robert and I have sort of the flip side of things. It looks like here you two almost have the flip side as well. One's more coder and one's more trader. So I already introduced myself. Who am I? Robert, do you want to go in more detail about Lumiwealth since you're here on the call?
Yeah, sure. So I already kind of alluded to it earlier, right? So Lumiwealth, our whole mission is to help people with their investments, right? How do I make you more money? That's like really what the why is for our company, right? And the how are we doing that is we're using software, right? I have a very strong belief that using software to improve your investment returns is a very, very good way to do it. It reduces costs, it makes things go faster, it enables you to do new things like blockchain and NFTs and all that kind of stuff. So very strong belief in using software to improve your investment returns, right? The way that we're doing it right now is we're doing it through courses, right? So we have several different courses, everything from blockchain to this course that we're talking about right now, options trading, algorithmic trading, machine learning for trading, soon to be a crypto trading course as well. I've been talking with Neil about that. Neil's going to be teaching that crypto trading course most likely, and on and on. We're expanding that out. We're also working on building a website soon that's going to be kind of like a new age hedge fund, right? Where we're basically going to be taking, allowing you to invest into our different types of algorithms that we have, because we have quite a few of them now. So we might as well open that up and allow people to invest in them, right? And then also allowing people that create algorithms so we can pay them. So all of our past students that know how to create algorithms, we want them to put their algorithms up on our website, and we can create this marketplace, like a new age type of hedge fund. So that's kind of some of the things that are coming up, and kind of our philosophy. It's really about just making you guys more money, making better investment returns, and we're using software to do it.
The next thing that we have on our list, I won't even jump back to, is we're just going to talk a little bit about our YouTube channel. We record a lot of videos on here. We record all of our webinars. We record a lot of our different, we have people testimonials. We have some of our teachers on here. Here's our blockchain expert discussing things. And, you can go through here and have a look at some of the videos that we have, interviews, etc., and will help you understand more about the courses that we take and more about the content in them. For example, I think we're recording this today, and the last two ones we did, we recorded as well. And they're really handy to go back and have a look at. I also want to mention too, I discussed the Discord channel. It's really important. We have we're really lucky at Lumiwealth. We have quite a strong community here. And I know that a strong community is super helpful when let me just see if I can find it here quick. So a strong community is super helpful when you're trying to find help and work with people and try to get assistance. And just kind of get together and share ideas. So, we have quite a number of, is this one here? I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. We have quite a number of groups that you can see here on the left-hand side. So every time you take a course and sign up for the course, you'll be able to access this. This is the group from our last options trading course. They used to be pretty active in here. And we also have, for each of the course that we take, we have a different group in here that you can be a member of. And when you sign up for the course, you're with that group for lifetime. So, even if 6 months down the road, someone's having trouble, say, for example, trying to run a particular strategy or an idea with the bot, they can give us a quick shout out here, and we're always keeping an eye on this, and we can jump in and help out. And also too, the thing that we like to encourage and that we do is we'll set up a time when we're doing the course so that you can say, every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, everybody will kind of get together. It's enough days since the course has happened, people can work on some things, and they come together and chit chat about ways to help each other, because we have assignments in between the courses as well. And it's a great place to come together, share ideas, and share algorithms. And I think that having a strong community is super important when you're trying to learn.
And Neil, do you mind if I jump in here really quick? Sure. I just want to share the link here to both YouTube and Discord. I want to share both the links in the chat here. The YouTube, which you mentioned, there's a lot of good videos on there, but also it's going to be the recording of this video is going to be there, right? So if you go in there, right now you'll see that it's live, right? But basically once this video is done, that's where you can get that recording. And then I'm also going to share the link to the Discord, so I say Discord channel, but it's really the Discord server is what they call it. So you guys can actually go in and join, right? So you have both those links. Make sure that you like and subscribe our YouTube. Follow us because we have lots of good videos in there, lots of stuff that that you guys will get for free, right? And then our Discord, as Neil said, is a really good community. There's a lot of stuff when you join the course, but even if you don't join our courses, there's still quite a few things in there that you just have. It's a very active community. People talk about like crypto, people talk about stocks, people talk about
crypto, and then crypto.
Yeah, lots of crypto conversations lately. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely a good place to join. Both of those places, YouTube and Discord. I put those links in the chat so you guys have them handy. Also, one more thing. I believe Avi said his experience here in the chat. It says currently in product management, active software development, I believe since 2010, C#, C++, and C before that. Investment since 2000, options and FX since 2007, crypto dabbling since 2021. So definitely a very strong experience there, Avi. That's fantastic. I think this course will be right up your alley. I think you'd love to see what Neil can do for you in terms of trading options and actually doing that sort of thing.
Hey, Avi, I have a question for you. Are you are you actively working in investments or financial services? Let us know in the chat. Oh, so just while he's answering that, I'm just going to say at the end of the seminar, we're gonna provide. Oh, it's all personal. That's impressive. You picked all the easy languages. At the end of the webinar today, yeah, no, those are the harder languages. We're going to have a survey. If you don't mind, if you could just take a second and just let us know how we did. It helps us to improve the content of the webinar. It helps us to improve the way that we present things to you in our interactions as well. And please, again, I just a reminder for myself to ask you, please, that chat room is an open dialogue on my screen. I'm sitting here watching it. So is Robert. And please, any questions, just pop up and let us know. So, so why do we want to do algorithmic trading? The reason why we want to do algorithmic trading is because it's a very successful way to trade. It takes a lot of time to get good at it. It takes some effort to build up your programs, but it's a very great way to trade. Now, some of the most successful companies are algorithmic trading companies. Renaissance Technologies, for example, they have $110 billion in assets, and they do algorithmic trading, and they have an unbelievable rate of return of 39% over 30 years. 39% over 30 years is a I don't know if you know this or not, but it's just a ridiculous number. Like, it's an absolute ridiculous number. I had a just to put it in perspective, I had a guy come online the other day, and he was trying to pitch me on LinkedIn to do something. He's like, hey, you don't have to do anything. You'll make 15% a month, and just send us your money. Right? And so I sent him back, and I was like, do you know what the math is on that? And it works out to be about several $1 trillion. 39% is a ridiculous number. It's a number that, quite frankly, before Renaissance came along, I never heard anybody achieve consistently over time, with very little drawdowns. I mean, not significant drawdowns as well. So $1,000 after 30 years would turn into $17,000 if you were just to invest it in the stock market, right? Just to give you an idea of that. Just investing in the stock market, 30 years, $17,500. $1,000 turns into 24 million after 30 years. And that's the power of algorithmic trading. I see you put a book up there, Robert. Oh yes, The Man Who Solved the Market. I haven't read this yet, but I've literally been hearing about this everywhere I turn around. I just haven't had the time to get to it. Robert, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So, and Neil, I definitely recommend that you read this because this is right up your alley. But this is basically like a biography of Jim Simmons, right? If you want to click on that link so we could actually see the book.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a biography of Jim Simmons, and basically it talks a lot about how they created Renaissance and how they created their own algorithms. It's a pretty crazy book. These guys honestly were, it's kind of to your point, right? Like 39% a year. I think they only lost money one quarter in 30 years, right? Just ridiculous. Think about, dot-com bubble, think about 2008, think about last year. Like, they almost never lose money, right? Like once, and I think that they lost like 0.5%. It's like nothing, right? And this is a book about how they did it, right? This is a book about Jim Simmons, this guy that created this hedge fund. It took him a while to figure it out and make the right algorithms. But once they got these things going, oh my, like, these guys are just, they basically had a bank machine in their house, right? It was like, it's crazy. Like,
what were you saying about the houses?
Yeah. They're like buying houses and forgot they even existed. It was like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, the amount of money these guys are making. The hedge fund, I think, manages 110 billion, but that doesn't take into account the fact that they gave back a lot of money to people, that they spent a lot of money. They own so much stuff outside the hedge fund. These guys, it's a printing press, basically. It's a very, very fascinating book about the whole story of how they made this, how they create the whole system and all the politics involved and whatever. I think it's a fascinating book. If you guys are interested in algorithmic trading, I think it's a must read.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring it up, because it's like, I've heard this book being popped up over and over and over again. I spend a lot of time in sort of the Reddit algo chat rooms and the LinkedIn algorithmic trading chat rooms. And this book just keeps popping up over and over and over again. So you're right. I think I need to set aside some time and dive into it.
Just do the Audible version.
What are you trying to say?
I read all my books off Audible personally. I don't.
Well, that explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Go to gym, treadmill, read a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier, right?
So, of course, here's a list of other companies that are in the same, the same sort of ballpark. They may have made quite the same returns successfully, but they're still all very successful companies. Two Sigma, Citadel, Bridgewater, have a look at them. Algorithmic trading works when it's done right and when it's done well, and it can work. It can work for individuals too. It doesn't just have to be the big companies. There's a lot of what I like to say sometimes to smaller traders is say, well, don't you have to be a big company with big servers and be trading really close to markets? It's not necessary, because there are a lot of trading opportunities that are too small for the big guys that they just don't want to waste their time with, and you can find those trading your own algorithms yourselves. So that's kind of one of the reasons why you'd want to trade options with algorithms. Some of the other ones are options are complicated. Just by their nature, they're complicated. The math for them is complicated. Every single, if you have a stock, XYZ Corp, if you look at its options chain, just one stock has, literally like, 100 options underneath it of calls and puts with different expiry dates and different strike prices, all trading at different liquidities and different, spreads and all that kind of stuff. And it's would be challenging. It's challenging if you're going to try to trade those, to do all of that manually. Another big advantage of trading with algorithms is that you can trade while you're away from your computer. So like I have, Lumiwealth is my biggest client, but I do have some other clients that I write algorithms for. And I can think of, even just right now, I have one client in particular who's has a strategy that he's trading himself, right? But he's got a big bank of screens and he's kind of stuck there. He's kind of stuck there. He's got to run off and come back for lunch quickly and all that kind of stuff. And so we wrote up an algorithm where it all just trades automatically. He flips it on in the morning, turns it off at night, and he's all good. Does exactly what he would have done had he been sitting there, except quicker. You have the ability to backtest strategies. Backtesting is a really important part of setting up algorithms, whether it's options or futures or Forex or cryptos or stocks. And, my website says it all. It says it's runbacktest.com. So, I'm a believer in backtesting. And, if you're going to have a strategy, you don't want to be just putting it live right in without kind of having an idea of how it's going to perform. Do you still have to do technical analysis with algo option trading? You don't have to know. You could have some other types of triggers that would trigger your buy and sell signals, Ricardo. So like if you, let's say for example, I'll give you an example. I had one client who had a machine learning on something, I don't know, some outside signal, right? And the machine learning would come back and just give him buy and sell signals. And he would put those in, and the bot would just trade those. So no, you don't have to use technical analysis, but it is one of the more predominant, it's what gets used the most to determine the signals of when we're going to buy and sell. So when you're back testing your strategies, there's not a lot of open source software out there that can backtest options, particularly using your own data. And Lumibot, which is our open source algorithmic trading platform, can backtest options right on your machine, and it can tell you how things are working, how they're not. We have the ability to have a full option chain for a particular stock, and then we could have multiple stocks. So you could have say for example 10 to 20 stocks and have selected options from all of them, just depending on the memory capacity of your computer. And then you could run through and have them trade either on an intraday or an interday basis and try to determine how well your algorithm would have done. And that'll give you the opportunity then to say, well, maybe I need to tweak a few things, or maybe I need to add in a few other criteria for my buying and selling, or maybe I need to look at putting bracket orders in, or whatever have you. By having back testing, you can go through it and test your strategies before you put your money on it. And then the next step after that would be, once you got comfortable with your algorithm, is you would paper trade your algorithm, still not putting your money into it, to make sure that your algorithm is doing what exactly you want it to do. And the way that we've structured Lumibot is that when you create your algorithm to do your back test, you literally just flip a switch and you're going right into interactive brokers. And now you're paper trading. You can do your audits to make sure the trades are doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then when you're really comfortable with that, then you flick it another switch and you're live. And now you're trading. Now you're trading your algorithm live. You've back tested, you've paper traded, and you've gone live, and it's all the same code. It doesn't change. So, I mean, other than launching it slightly differently, it's all the same. No more questions. So the next part, this is one of my favorite parts about algorithmic trading. With my experience working as a broker, I can tell you emotion plays a huge part in it. And I watched more people make more stupid decisions because of the emotions of the moment, that you would try to talk them out of and they wouldn't do it, when markets are crashing or whatever. And they had maybe they had a method or a philosophy or an idea, and it would all go out the window, when it became emotional. And then that lizard brain we have would to take over and just knock us senseless, and either go sit on the sidelines or take too much risk, or maybe doubling down on a loss, or sort of these sort of classic ways that people lose money. And the nice thing about an algorithm is that when you've done your work right, you can look at it and you can say, well, I know what the characteristics of this algorithm are. I know what his drawdowns are supposed to look like. I know what his volatility is supposed to look like. I know what the frequency of those are supposed to look like. And as long as you're within those parameters, give or take, then you should be comfortable the algorithm's doing its job, because you're really interested in the algorithm over time, not just in any given short period of time. So if you've back tested it over, say, a period of 5 years, and you know that you can expect a couple down periods of 25 to 30% over that 5-year period, and it's been a year, and then you start to get one of those periods, it's okay. You just let it go, so it takes the emotion out of it, because you're working more from a bigger strategy point of view than on a trade by trade point of view, right? And when you're working on a trade by trade point of view, you need to pop some clonazepam all the time and just keep doing it that way. But when you're dealing with algorithmic trading, it takes the emotion out of it. The other thing that's really cool about it too is that you can trade multiple strategies at a time. It's really hard to do that when you're just trading stocks. I mean, you can, but it gets more challenging if you're just doing it yourself. So if you have, say, one idea, trading off MACDs, and another idea that's using Bollinger Bands, maybe another one's got some machine learning in it, and they're all kind of non-correlated strategies that may be in and out of the market for different reasons at different times, you can just let them go, and it's great. And finally, what's not on this list was another thing I really like about using the algorithms, is that it frees up your time. Like if you have a really good idea, right? Let's say you got a good idea and you're going to trade it manually. Well, you're trading it, you're busy. I mean, that's going to take time, right? Like it's not something where you can just hand off. But if you're doing an algorithm, once your algorithm is running properly, you got time, you go do something else, right? And you can go focus on making another strategy, and then you can launch that as well. Does this work with ETFs as well? Do you mean it by this? I presume you're meaning the bot itself. Yeah, so this is an options trading course, but the bot is the same bot for all. It's the same bot for algorithmic trading, and it's the same bot for this one. Blockchain is different. It'd be the same bot for crypto, right? So they're all the same bots. And you can trade ETFs, no problem. You can trade funds, you can trade indices, you can trade Forex futures, you could trade options. Yeah, basically most of the major asset classes you can trade. I'm trying to think of well, you can't trade bonds. I mean, individual bonds, anything like that. So that's not in our platform, but exchange traded funds definitely, and they're quite frequently traded because it gives you access to such a wide variety of sectors, and segments of the market. And the final reason to trade algorithmically is because it's cool and all your friends will like you. I can't prove that because I don't have any friends. Okay, so we're going to go through we're going to go through a couple of demos. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the I'm actually not going to spend a lot of time myself right now talking about them because I talk about them in the videos. So we're going to talk about a strangle and we're going to talk about a bear call spread. A strangle is essentially you're going to buy a call and a put, and so you have premiums on both sides, but what you're expecting is for the market to move big in one direction or the other. And bear call spread is when you sell and buy a call at different strike prices, and depending on how you structure them will determine whether you expect it to go down or up. But I explain them more. I'm going to show you some videos. These were recorded about, I think now about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We can't record, we like to do these live normally, but all of the webinars we've done so far have either been on the weekend or at night. So we just pre-recorded it. It's me talking on here. I'm sorry the audio is not quite as great as I'd like it to be, but I think you can hear everything clearly. So Johnson asked if we have examples of algorithmic execution. Now, is that a segue or is that a segue? Thank you. As a matter of fact, I do, and it's coming up right now. So I'm gonna run this and take a quick break in between, and then we'll run the second one. And basically, what I'm going to be showing you here is how I wrote all the code for all of this stuff, and I show you how you can run it. It's a pretty quick overview. The Strangle is available on our GitHub page, which I'll show you after. Okay, but I'll run this now. Oh wait, I got to hook up my microphone, don't I, Robert? Okay, 1 second, everybody. Hang tight. We're going to have a technical moment because I think I have to turn this on.
Yeah, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Zoom's a little weird with the way that it receives audio from when you play video. Yeah, it's very, very quiet.
There's a link in the presentation. You can look at it on Investopedia for a full description. This graph here shows the profile. Basically, we're going to be buying a call and a put. Sorry, can you hear it?
It's very quiet, Neil. I think we need to have the microphone right next to the speaker. It's weird. So guys, by the way, the way that Zoom does this, if anyone here works at Zoom, we need to get this fixed. But when you play a video through Zoom, technically what it does is it puts it through your speakers, and then you have to have a microphone pick up that sound. I don't know if you have that set up, Neil. If you don't, I could do it through my. I could do it through mine as well, because I've done this several times before.
Just give me 1 more second. I have to stop sharing for 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, you basically have to point the microphone at your speakers.
I'm going to put my headphone microphone, but I just have to make sure it's selected correctly. Okay, and I'll leave this as the analog output, and this should work. I think you're gonna have to do it, Robert. My headphone's taking over.
Yeah, I'll just do it. I'll do it on my end. No problem. So here, let me put this up on here.
You'll have to forgive us. This is the first time we've run it tonight from my end, so we didn't anticipate this part.
There you go. Okay. All right, there you go. You can see my screen.
I can see it.
Okay, so let me hit play here.
Being executed by Lumiwealth. This is the long strangle strategy. There's a link in the presentation. You can go look at it on Investopedia for a full description. This graph here shows the profile. Basically, we're going to be buying a call and a put. It's designed to take advantage of a big swing in price in the underlying. So I'm going to go through reasonably quickly here and just have a quick look at some code. This is the code that's going to run the strategy. It's be found on our GitHub site, and it's under strategy examples, and it's the strangle strategy. You Here's a description of the strategy. We initialize our variables. These are the stocks that we're going to use. All of these are going to be customized to the specific strategy, and you can set it up any way you want. I'm not going to lie, when you do option strategies, it's a little bit more work than when you're doing trading just sort of stocks, or doing an RSI, or a simple moving average or something like that, but it's worth it. Every option strategy is going to have a trading pairs dictionary. Trading pairs dictionary is going to be keeping track of all the detailed information that you need to keep track of for the strategy. If I scroll down real quick here, you can see there's a helper function to build it down here. Lumiwealth works in life cycles. There's it starts off with the before starting trading life cycle. This is where we're going to set up the initial dictionary. I'm not going to go through this here. You'll learn about this in the course. And then when you get into the iteration, this is where we start selling and buying. We always sell first, try to raise cash if we need to, when we're long anyway. And so here we're going to just point out something, sort of specific to this strategy. We look for the price move here. And then what we do is we compare it to the threshold that we've set that we're willing to take our profit on. For this particular example, the threshold is really low because I want to make some trades. And then we create orders and submit the orders by liquidating our positions. When we set up the initial positions, we do it here and create positions. I'm just going to point out a few key things here. We're going to buy all the prices. We'll get all the prices for the underlying and for the calls and puts, put them in our dictionary, and we use those for our analysis. We will be looking at the information from Yahoo Finance, getting the ticker information. It's very helpful for us. Try to get the days to earnings and try to find out if it's too close or far enough away that we can make the movement. Here we're going to do some sizing. You can see here we're going to create some sizing based upon the overall position in the portfolio. And you'll see that when we execute the strategy that all the different pairs are roughly equally sized. And finally, we create our options and our puts, and we're ready to start trading. So now we've hit go and we're ready to start trading, and Lumiwealth's going to go into motion. I'm doing a paper trading on an account with a $40,000 budget, even though it says $250,000 in the paper trading account there. We have a maximum number of trades of 4 trades, so we'll have 8 positions altogether because they're in pairs. And you can see Lumiwealth's going through the process of doing the analysis, finding out which pairs are best to be purchased, and then it goes ahead and purchases them automatically all by themselves. I'm not doing anything at this point. On the right-hand side, this is Interactive Brokers Trade Workstation. If you're not familiar with it, it's a old tried and true trading station a lot of people use. And when we're using our program, we have to interact with Interactive Brokers directly to do the options trading. Now, there would have been a bit of a time lag in there. I've kind of edited out sort of the waiting time for the next iteration. But you can see here that it sold some positions and is buying some new positions and putting them on for the strategy. I'm going to wait one more time. I think I sell out a little bit more and reduce the number of positions here. Again, there was a bit of editing out of blank time waiting for the next iteration. But you can see it all runs smoothly and automatically. And this is what you're going to learn how to do when we get into the course together. We're going to teach you how to build these algorithms. If you have trading strategies for options, we'll teach you how to codify them and how to run them and how to do them in Lumiwealth and trade with Interactive Brokers.
Cool, awesome. So what do you guys think?
I liked it a lot, but I might be biased.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit biased. Yeah.
We got some messages here. Very cool. Thanks, Ricardo. Awesome. And then I guess the question from Johnson: does algo trading work with small accounts? Absolutely, yes. You could work with any size account. There's a limit to day trading stocks specifically. If you're buying and selling the same stock over and over and over again within one day, you have to have 20 grand in your account or something like that. But that's only stocks. That's only if you're doing this very, very frequently, right? If you're trading crypto, there's no limitations. If you're trading futures like that, limitations are very different. Right. Options, you're probably not going to want to trade that often anyways. It's not, if you trade in and out of options, you could, there are ways they can make money doing that. Citadel makes a ton of money doing that. in and out of options. But you'll probably be trading more than one option, so you're not going to really run into those day trading rules.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say the challenge with the options is the spreads can be pretty steep on them, and they don't lend themselves necessarily to high frequency trading, even though that's kind of how I was showing it on the demonstration. But I tweaked everything so it would go fast. It's not as I didn't tweak it for that's actually kind of how you would invest it.
Well, I mean, you can still do very fast. I mean, not high frequency, right? We're not doing high frequency here. We're not trading in and out like several times a second, right? But you can still make quite a bit of money off the spreads on options, right? Because you could be selling them, you could be buying them at, things that make the most sense on a premium. And I think algorithms can really help you do that sort of thing as well.
Definitely.
Cool, awesome. I'd love to see some back tests of this. Do you have any back tests ready, by the way? Like set up right now?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, cool.
I just don't. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right, cool. So let's play the next video. So that was the strangle strategy, and let's play the bear call spread strategy, guys. All right.
We're going to go over a strategy called the bear call spread. The bear call spread is a long short strategy using calls. It's anticipating that the underlying is going to drop in price. And you can see here in this chart, you go short a call at 220, you get the premium for that. You're going to go long at 230, it's going to cost some money. The idea here is that the underlying will drop in price and you will get a profit of 235, and you'll also limit your losses should the underlying go up in price. Now I'm going to show you Lumibot. I've written up this in code, and Lumibot is going to trade a number of securities on the bear call spread. On the left side, you're going to see the logouts to screen of Lumibot trading. On the right-hand side, you have Trader Workstation. You can see the securities popping up as the orders are placed. When it settles down for a second, we're going to have a look at one of these. I guess we could look at Airbnb right now. You can see here, for example, the short call is at 150 and the long call is at 157.5 as per the bear call strategy. We have a number of criteria selecting which stocks are going to get selected. We'll teach those in the course and how to do that. You may have your own ideas and algorithms that you want to trade. They're all customizable using the Lumibot strategy in Python code. So here, what we're going to get is the initial stages of the strategy is just about finishing up. You can see the simulated trading notification on the bottom right is showing all the completed trades. For this particular execution, we were only using 10 units or 10 contracts per underlying, so short and long. And I did just right now, I just did a clip of some time waiting for the next iteration. And you're going to see Lumibot's going to be calculating which of the underlyings it wants to sell and get rid of and close out the trades on, and establishing new positions. When you do the course with us, you can have your own ideas that you want to trade. You're going to have, you're going to have inspirations that you're going to want to create algorithms for. Lumibot is built to handle options and a wide array of other securities, including futures contracts, Forex, and stocks. We can also do a number of back testing with Lumibot as well. This is an example of the bear call spread. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you'll be able to attend one of our courses one day, and we'll see you there. Thanks.
Awesome, perfect. That's another strategy there. We have several strategies in this in the course itself. What do you guys think about that one? We got the bear call. We got the strangle strategy. I think we have, what was it, like another 3 or 4 in the course itself that we show you guys that you guys can either use right out of the box and modify however you want. Create your own more complex strategies. There's a lot of different things you can build with it. Right?
We also, during the course, there's a certain amount of flexibility, and I always try to reserve a bit of space to see if we can build an algorithm that somebody wants to see. And in the last course, we had I guess a money manager would be a good way to say it. He had rich clients, and he wanted to do covered calls on their equities. So we made a covered call strategy, and he was able to use that. So if you have an idea and it's reasonable that we can do it as part of the course, then maybe we'll make that a focal point. Try to work on that.
Yeah, definitely the advantage of the live courses, right? It's like when you join the live course, not only do you get to join live with the instructor and ask questions live and all that sort of thing, but it's also, we'll take this. This is actually in all of our courses. I think we do this. The algorithmic trading course is the same way. You join our algo trading course, you have an idea. A lot of times I'll just go off and help build it, right? It's a pretty common thing. We love doing this stuff, right? It's really what it comes down to.
We have a question in the chat here. It says from Johnson. Thanks, Johnson. He's like, how do you determine the strategy? Because the strangle will not work every time. Well, it's a good question. Thanks. In fact, I would say there's almost no strategy that works all the time, that they all have their ups and downs to them. Strategies are selected by individuals based upon what they believe or what they like or what they think is going to work based upon their own personal their own leanings, and what they like to follow. I've had people all over the map, as clients and myself as well, trading, going everywhere from very fast trading to people who want to do trading, might trade over the course of weeks. And having the algorithm, because it's completely flexible, allows you to do what I told you earlier, to do your back testing, your paper trading, your live trading. Doesn't really matter what type of algorithm you're using. You can apply that fundamental rigor to any type of trading strategy. And the best way to determine which strategy you're going to use is the one that's most profitable, obviously, or I would say profitable, but profitable and fits your personality. Like a lot of people have different things they like to see, and a lot of people don't want to be in the market overnight. They want to go to sleep and not worry about it. So, but other people don't want to have all this activity and like it to trade over the course of a week or two because they don't believe that you can beat the markets going fast. It all depends on what you as an individual um, like and what you want to do.
Yeah, and I'll take that further. I mean, it's not just what you like, it's also what fits your specific period in life or what you're trying to accomplish, right? So if you're trying to get something that's let's go all the way or nothing, right? There's one type of strategy you could do. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, like for example, the one that you're talking about, Guy, in one of our in actually several of our courses now, financial advisor for his clients, they do covered calls, which is a very safe type of strategy. Lucrative. It's a nice way to get an extra kick out of the market. If the stock market is going to give you 10%, the strategy will give you 12, 13% without taking on a crazy amount of risk, right? Or, you could take on a strategy that's going to be, crazy, like you're either going to make 1,000% in a year or go bust, right? You know what I mean? Like it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And to be honest with you, I think combining several strategies together actually makes a lot of sense too, right? Because you can have some of each, right? You can have one that's going a little crazy and trying to really shoot through the moon, right? Buying call options on things that Elon Musk tweets about, right? That's a good strategy, right? But you'll be wrong sometimes, right? When you're right, you'll make 30 times your money, right? But if you're wrong, you'll lose it all, right? So don't put all your money into that. I'd have a mix of several of them, right?
I would further what Robert's saying with that is that I think that most of the top firms who are algorithmic traders have a portfolio of algorithms, right? So, and what they're striving to do is each algorithm is striving for two main things. One is that it's got to outperform the market somehow, even if it's a slice or whatever. But more importantly, it has to be non-correlated with the other strategies that they have, because then they can get a higher consistent rate of return. And because they're not correlated with each other, it lowers the effective risk of the overall portfolio. So as an individual trading, you might have two or three or four ideas and you would back test them. Then you could maybe compare how the results fared against each other. Are they highly correlated? Well, then there's no point, right? But if they're not correlated with each other, then you've got something you can really take advantage of.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Cool. So yeah, so how do you determine the strategy? You know, it depends on what you're looking for. I think back testing is also another very, very useful tool. You definitely, any strategy that you want that you're going to accomplish or you want to run, I would definitely take data over the past couple of years, back test it, see how it fared. That is an extremely important thing to do. I'll tell you, I have my money in several different algorithms. All of them back testing very well, and all of them are performing very well, right? Back testing isn't guaranteed to make sure that your algorithm is going to work out well, but I'm telling you, if you back test something and it doesn't work out well, I don't think you should put your money into that.
Yeah, I believe that 110%. If you get a good result in back testing, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a good result in the real world. But if you get a bad result in back testing, you're definitely not getting a good result in the world. So you can get it's a good filter.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, cool. So those are the videos. Let's talk about the course a little bit. All right, so I'm going to open up the course page. I'm actually going to give you guys a link here as well. All right, so let me copy and paste this into the chat. All right, so here's a link so you guys can follow along. All right, so here is our algorithmic options trading course. Okay, so this course here, like I said, we have several different courses, right? We're all about using software to improve your investment returns. That's what we're all about, right? We have our algorithmic trading course, which is where most beginners will get started. If you've never coded a day in your life, I recommend you start with algorithmic trading. We have a machine learning course, which is a little bit more advanced, not super advanced. We've had a couple people that don't know how to code that have gone through it. Options trading course this one is definitely a little bit more advanced. If you know how to code, this is probably the one for you. You can make really good money doing this sort of thing. But it does, as Neil said before, it does take a little bit more effort. And then we have a brand new one, blockchain programming. The blockchain programming course, the last one there, this one is definitely more for beginners as well. We specifically made it that way. And it's really, really cool. It's a little bit different than our other three. We have our algo trading, machine learning, and options trading. It's all about trading algorithmically, whereas like buying and selling stuff using an algorithm. Whereas the blockchain course is about making your own assets, creating brand new assets that never existed before, right? Like NFTs, like your own crypto coins, like your own gambling contracts. You could do that kind of stuff on it. Like there's all sorts of crazy things you could do with blockchain, and that's that one there at the very bottom, right? Again, beginner courses are algo trading and blockchain. The more advanced courses are machine learning and options. Okay, so just to give you context of what we're talking about here. So our options trading course, as with any of our other courses, has 3 different plans to it. Yeah, we have our self-directed plan, which basically means you get access to the videos. You get access to these videos, the course recordings. You only get access to the videos of the ones that got recorded in the past. You do not get access to the videos that got recorded in the future. Okay? Whereas our live classes, you get access to all of them. Okay? So self-directed, you get to have past recordings of past classes. And then you're going to you'll get access to our coding library, right? Where basically you get access to all of our different algorithms and things like that we built, right? And you'll get access to our community, so you can get to know people, right? So it's these 3 different things. It's our community, it's our coding library, and it's our recordings of these lectures, right? So that's our self-directed plan. Our live class plan is basically all of that plus more, right? So you get access to all the recordings, you get access to our community, you get access to the recordings, but you also will get access to recordings in the future forever, right? If you ever want to retake the course or anything like that, you're more than welcome to. Technology changes, things improve, you can get access to that forever going forward. And also, most importantly, is you get to join a class that's kind of like this, right? It's like this live class where you get to see other people in the class, you get to know other people in class, you can ask the instructors questions point blank. If you join Neil in this class, Neil's an amazing instructor, by the way. You ask, what about this, and can we do this? honestly, by next class, we'll probably build it for you, and you can actually take a look through it and mess around with it a little bit. So, live classes are really, really valuable, and this is where most of our students go for. It's, you're there, you feel like you're in a real classroom, you get to ask questions throughout. The instructor's super helpful, especially if it's Neil, right? And he can, build things for you and help you with a lot of different things, and make sure that you're successful with your efforts. Right? We have some questions here in the chat. So Ricardo asks, so a self-directed plan does not give you access to future videos, just past ones. Correct, yes. Yeah, so you get access to past videos, so you don't get access to future videos, right? Whereas the live classes plan, you'll get access forever, right? As long as we're doing this course, which we're planning on doing this for a long time, you'll get access to all these recordings, all the recordings in the future, and you'll be able to drop into new classes too. So let's put it this way: say you join our class that starts in December, and you're going through it, and let's say, I don't know, something comes up, maybe you got a new job or something. A lot of people put Lumiwealth on their resumes, get new jobs, really cool. But you go through that and you want to take it again, maybe in the future, because you want to brush up on something or whatever, you can jump into future classes. It's no problem, right? We don't charge you extra for retaking the course, right? I joined late, can't see a webcast, it's recording, how can I get access? Yeah. Yeah, so Suraj, we'll send to you the whole recording afterwards as well. You'll get it in your email. You can also go under webinars here, right? Webinars, options, trading. You'll see the recordings right there. Yeah. Okay, and that's in Lumiwealth.com. Right? Here's just a live classes. And then project help and tutoring. This is our premium plan, right? Basically, if you're, there's like a white glove service. You need help with anything, we'll get developers on this. If you're trying to build something, we'll actually really spend time looking through your code, helping you build this sort of thing. There's several clients of ours that have gone through this sort of thing. I spend time with them on a regular basis. If they ever have any questions, we're on a phone call immediately. You know what I mean? By the way, this is on top of everything else, right? It's like you get everything from self-directed, you get everything from live trading. And on top of that, you get this sort of service. One of the clients is I can think of one right now. I don't want to mention names, but he's working on a futures trading robot. I look through his code all the time, tell him, fix this, do this, write a little bit of code for him. This is what you get with the project help and tutoring plan. You really get a lot of hands-on. If this is something you're serious about and you want to build out your own algorithm, this is the best way to go. It's the project help and tutoring plan. We'll really help you out.
Hey, Robert, I was just going to jump in on this point here too, because I make a living building algorithms for people in all sorts of different asset classes and different platforms. And I can tell you right now that some of the clients who are super serious about it, but do have a coding background, will pay to have that made so that they don't have to try to figure it all out from scratch, right? And then they've got this algorithm and that they can run with, and they know it's going to work properly, and then they can modify it and build it and change it after that. So this service is a really, really good service if you're serious about having an algorithm that's going to run flawlessly and execute the strategy that you want to execute.
Absolutely. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, it's great. Definitely. Getting that extra help is definitely very helpful for sure. Cool. So here's all the plans. We see up here too, 3 and 5 month payment plans available. So don't feel like you need to pay all this up front. Our self-directed plan, and I just clicked on it. Let's back out of that. Our self-directed plan is $1,500, right? We just recently raised it. It's, we're getting a lot of demand for this, so we tend to raise our prices when we get lots of demand. Our self-directed plan is $1,500. That's available in 3 to 5 month payment plans. Again, you have all the bullet points of what's available here. You have lifetime access to video library, lifetime access to the library of code. Again, that video library is only past recordings. Access to all future videos and code. This is actually not true. I'm going to take that off there. Access to Lumiwealth Discord community, right? So you get to be part of our community. Join in our voice calls. I'll go back to our community page here as well. This is, our voice calls that we typically have here as well. We'll have people join in on a regular basis to discuss options trading or to discuss machine learning or discuss algorithmic trading. We also have a discussion hour once a week. So we have a very vibrant community of people that are helping each other out. So you get access to that whole thing. And then the weekly discussion hour you get access to as well, where this discussion hour, every Tuesday we meet. This is actually a really fun thing to do. And a lot of really cool ideas have come from this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a great thing to do. Actually, we're doing it in an hour. So if you guys sign up now, you guys can actually get access to it. A lot of really smart people in there and a lot to learn from each other. Our live courses are $3,500. And again, you get everything from the self-directed plan. It's 8 weeks of live classes, 1.5 hours per week, right? You have 6 hours of dedicated live Q&A. You get help on 2 personal projects, right? Which are the 2 projects I'll describe in a bit. You get to know other classmates, and really it's part of this live interactive kind of thing. You get help with your resume and interview prep if that's what you're looking for. A lot of our students actually do get jobs coming out of this. And then limited email and chat Q&A, right? And then our Project Help and Tutoring plan is about $5,300. Again, payment plans are available. This is that white glove service. We'll help you, like we'll write code for you, basically. You get everything from self-directed and live trading plans, right? You get the upcoming live plans. And then, you'll get help with building a custom project. You'll get lots of one-on-one video and phone sessions. We'll write code for you. And we'll again help with your resume and all that sort of thing as well. If that's what you're looking for, right? Okay. You guys can read a little bit about the course down here. There's learning outcomes and things like that, right? But then I think probably the most important things for you guys to pay attention to is A, our course curriculum, and then B, when the next course is starting, right? So first of all, our course curriculum, we have 3 parts to this course, right? So the first part to this course is the introduction, making sure you get all set up. It was week 1, right? Getting all set up, making sure that you understand how the system works, and also like get to know other people in the course. It's really nice to get to know other students. It really feels like community. A lot of people end up working together afterwards, right? Building projects together. Week 2 is about option fundamentals, right? So you'll learn about how call and puts work, how profit and payoffs work. So if you don't know options, this will teach you basically how options work. Even if you do know options, this is still a very valuable thing because we'll show you from a coding perspective the different ways of approaching this. I know Neil has some really cool graphs and different things to show off here where you'll see this is how a put option works, but this is really how the payoff works over a longer period of time, and you really start to understand a lot better. I have a master's in finance personally. I've worked in this field for quite a while. I still learned a lot from week 2. I'll tell you that much, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I custom coded some charts that we were able to kind of go through, and it really gives you an idea of how you can make money and lose money with options.
Absolutely, yeah, and those are very cool, definitely. Week 3, we talk about option trading basics. So, how do you trade with Greeks? How do you trade the different types of strategies, callers, straddles, strangles, covered calls, all those like typical things, right? And again, going through it with code, right? So showing you not only like what are these things, right? And how do they work? But we really go into detail because there's code behind it. You can modify things. You can really see how does all this stuff work, right? So that's part 1. It's getting all your fundamentals down.
Just have a question here. I just thought we should ask before we move on. Does the first week review Python as well? And I think what I'd say here is that the options course is a little bit more advanced. For Python, and I don't mean that you have to be like super great at Python, but you can't really be too green either. We have a course called the Algorithmic Trading course, where we will sit down with you and teach you Python, like if you don't know any Python at all, and we will show you how to do for loops and to do if statements and how to invoke signals so that you can trade an algorithm, and that would be the course if you don't know any Python at all, that would be the course to take first. I think if you try to take the options course without any Python at all, it might be a little bit too much. But like, you don't have to be super proficient, but you got to know a bit of Python for the options course.
Yeah. So again, that's exactly right. Neil, thank you for that. If you want to know how to do this sort of thing and you don't know how to code, and you don't know, I mean, if you know other coding languages, I think you could pick it up pretty quickly, right? But if you've never coded a day in your life before, and this is like, what is an if statement? I mean, I would definitely take the algorithmic trading course first, right? The algorithmic trading course, and a lot of people take them together, by the way. There's quite a few people that go from algo trading to options trading second, right?
Except for one person. He kind of did it backwards and he went, whoops. And he went the other way. He had bought them both. So he did it the right way. And I think he's going to be on the next course, and I'm looking forward to having him come.
Yeah, he is definitely. So I would definitely do the algo trading course first. If you're completely new to coding in general, if you coded Python before, or if you've coded other languages before, I think that's fine. You can, I think, go through this sort of thing. But if you've never coded a day in your life before, I'd definitely do algorithmic trading first. All right. That's a good question. Thanks, Ricardo. All right, cool. Okay, so that's part one, options fundamentals. Part two is we're basically talking about back testing options and getting you set up for live trading, right? So here we're going to set up a lot of back tests for you. You're going to see what strategies are profitable. You're going to see their payoffs. You're going to see how well they do. Is a covered call strategy a good thing or not, right? Are you going to make money doing your covered call strategy? And how risky is it? What kind of payoffs are you going to get? You're going to know, are strangles a good thing to do, right? Should you be doing a strangle and in what situation, right? You're going to know a bear call spread. When should you be using that? What kind of payoffs do you get? And you're going to understand very well what kind of returns you'll get based on the back tests, right?
Yeah, the most important part that we impart on you in this part two area is, the first thing is, the reason why we do the live paper trading first, the paper trading, is because it's a little easier to set up. So you don't have to worry about loading your own data. You're going to get data from the broker. So it's just a little bit easier to set up. And then all of that stuff will lead into the back testing, where you can back test your strategies. And what's really key going to come out of this section is going to, leading into the third part, is by the time you're done the second part, is you're going to have the structure that you need to say, oh, okay, this is where I do my iterations. This is where I load my data. This is how I track some data if I need to. It's all going to be, you're going to learn, for example, the key methods. Methods are functions. If you're not familiar with the term methods, where we show you how to retrieve information about your stock or about your option, and how to use that information to make decisions in your algorithm from minute to minute to minute, or from hour to hour, or day to day, depending on the frequency that you're going at.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're going to learn that back testing. We're going to learn that the live and the paper trading. And then how can you actually get this thing connected to a broker? You're going to see some actual live trades. You're going to have this thing actually working for you. Absolutely.
So I was going to jump in there. I answered in the bot, and it looks like I shouted because I hit two capitals on it. I was like, yeah, I wasn't shouting. Do we need to know machine learning for options? The answer is no. In fact, there's no machine learning in the course. It's not combined with this. If you're interested in machine learning as part of training, Lumiwealth does have another course that goes extensively and will teach you how to use machine learning in order to be able to trade and make profits in the markets. And that's one of the courses you can check out on the website. And again, if you're looking to buy, say, for example, the options, and you're really keen on machine learning as well, talk to us about doing a package deal. You can get discounts.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely, I'm going to actually put that on our website soon. It's implied, but when you buy courses together, by the way, you get discounts when you buy them together, right? You get a nice discount from buying 2 courses together or 3 courses together. I'm going to make that a little bit easier on the website. That's actually one of my jobs over the next week or two to put that in there. But that's a great thing.
Remember what I told you at the beginning, Robert? I don't do websites.
I do. I'm good for that. Cool, awesome. Okay, great. So that's part one and part two. So part one, option fundamentals, we get that all down. We do it in code. We make sure that you really understand what options are and how they work, right? Part two, we'll make sure that you're actually trading live and you're back testing and all that sort of thing. And then part three, what we're really going to do is we're gonna drive all that home. You're going to become like an expert in this stuff, right? We're going to go over a bunch of different strategies. We have two different example strategies that we go in here. Neil, I think you remember specifically what they are, but these can change over time anyways. We have covered calls, we have strangles, we have straddles, we have bear call spreads. We have a bunch of different stuff in there. We're just going to take you through a bunch of different examples. Right.
The real thing about the third part is that it's busy. It doesn't look busy on the screen here, but it's busy. We go through by going through these examples, we'll uncover all sorts of things that you don't really get into when you're just looking at say for example the initial part. Like say for example you want to do a signal off of an hourly bars, but we have minute data. We teach you how to do resampling. And that's just one example, but it just goes on and on and on. There's just a ton of different things that we teach you that the workshop with the examples will bring out. And these were very busy sessions, all three of them.
Yeah, for sure. We give you a lot of different examples, and you really get to see how to apply this to many different strategies and many different ways, right? For you to get that benefit out of it, right?
The last session with futures trading is kind of optional. Futures trading in Lumibot, futures trading is awesome. That the fact that we can do it, you could trade ES minis, you could trade whatever you want using our bot. The thing about it is, and why I have it kind of at the end, is that it's actually simpler than options. So we probably won't even spend the whole class on it because it's all the same kind of things. And when we had our last class, we ended up spending a good half the class on some strategies people wanted to go over that they still had some questions about, and then we did the futures kind of at the end as a little token at the end, and it was actually easier than doing the options.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, and again, if you guys take the live class, this is optional. If you guys want to go over it, or if you want to go more deeper into options, that is also a thing that we can do as well.
Yeah,
right?
we were definitely asking for feedback as to what people wanted, and the feedback we got resoundingly was everyone wanted to see futures, but we only really needed a half a class because it's if you look at what options and futures are just everything futures have, but like way more complicated. With rights, with calls, you have calls, puts, you have and they both have expirations, but you have strikes involved as well, which complicate things a lot.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Cool, awesome. So that's the course curriculum. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, if you guys want to see, let me send this link again into the chat so you guys can go over it as well if you want at your own pace. And then last but not least, actually, there's a couple more things. I'm not going to say that. So the next class that's coming up starts on December 5th. So it's coming up quite soon. Keep in mind, guys, by the way, and I know we've been on the phone with several people about this. Keep in mind, it starts December 5th, but we exclude holiday breaks, right? So it starts December 5th. It's 8 weeks long every week, right? But Christmas, New Year's, we're gonna be taking some time off, right? And that's not just for you guys, it's also for the instructors and for everybody else, right? To be able to take off a little bit of time for Christmas and for New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate, to have a little bit of time off there. So course starts on December 5th, goes for 8 weeks long. But realistically, we're probably going to skip 1 or 2 of those days, and it's going to go for 10 weeks because for you guys, and you guys are actually going to have an extra amount of time to really digest all this information, right? There's a question here from Avi.
Yeah.
Does it identify vol change or apply different strategies? Do you want to take that, Neil?
I'm not 100% sure I understand the question, but we do have a volume available that you can just use in your code to be able to. Yeah. Oh, volatility change to apply to different strategies. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading volume for some reason. Yeah. So you can look at our Greeks have implied volatility that comes back with it, and you can use that data when you're trying to create a strategy for your own code. So when we pull data back from interactive brokers, we have a extensive Greeks plus implied volatility, call prices, put prices as well on top of that. So yeah, yes, condors, calendars, yep. We can do all of that stuff. We haven't coded that yet, but they're definitely codable.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, awesome. Great, cool. Thanks for those questions. Is there another one here? Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Avi. Great questions. Okay, cool. So we have, so we talked about the course starts on December 5th. It goes for 8 weeks, excluding the holiday break. So again, I know holiday season's busy, so don't feel like this is going to be rushed or anything like that. You'll definitely have the time to take all this in, all right? We also, we recommend, 8 to 12 hours per week, self-paced. It really depends on kind of your background. We say this for every course, right? Some people, they don't need to spend that much time. Some people spend more. We recommend 8 to 12 hours per week in self-study, actually on top of the actual 2 hours of lecture.
I know the people that have taken the time, Robert, in my experience, are the ones who are more engaged every class and have questions and are keeping up, because the course, at some point the course picks up a pretty good pace. It's like, and you're going to need to spend a bit of time to digest and make sure you're comfortable coding what was taught to you, and be ready for the next course or class. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, so we say 8 to 12 hours, but it really depends. It depends on your background, depends on how much time you want to put in, right? Class schedule. So this is every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 p.m. Pacific, right? So again, starting December 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, goes for 8 weeks, right? And lectures are usually 1.5 to 2 hours long every week, live over Zoom.
They're usually 2 hours. I would say they were all 2 hours.
Probably, yeah. Maybe we should update this to 2
Yeah,
hours.
they were all 2 hours for sure.
Okay, cool, awesome. Cool, great. So that's the upcoming live classes, right? We also have 2 course projects that you go through. Really, 2 of them is back testing your own option strategy. How do you download data, check your option strategy, see if it works? Is this something that is actually practically going to work for you? And is this something that is going to be profitable, right? So being able to back test your option strategy.
I was just going to add in there, Robert, if I can just jump in again. I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but downloading data for options is a big deal because it's hard to come by. We're still struggling a little bit with some good daily data, but I'm going to teach you extensively how to set up automated bots in their own right, I guess, like automated code that you can run, and you could run it, say, every day, and you could just have like a long slew of data that you're able to collect over time that you'd be able to use in your back testing for free, and you'll have that code as part of what you're doing to be able to download data.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks, Neil. That's great. Cool. So back testing your strategies, making sure that they're actually working. And then the next one is like building this actual live bot that's trading, right? So you actually have a live trading bot that's trading on a broker, and being able to buy and sell these options for you, and make you money, even when you're, if you're off in a meeting or go watch some TV or whatever you want to do, still be trading for you, making you money, right? Cool. Then we also have a little bit of information about Neil here. You heard it from the man himself earlier today. Told you all about his history, but if you want to learn a little bit more, you can read up on him here. He also has his website, runbacktest.com, so you could really learn. Neil's been doing this for a long time. He's very good at what he does. You could read a little bit about his experience here, Lumibot, and all the different things that he's done. Right. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Neil, right? And then we also have some testimonials down here at the bottom, from some of our past students, Agim, Renee, Santayan, Joel. A lot of these people you can find again on our Discord. If you go into Discord, you'll see them. I bet you I could find a couple alumni here. There's Agim, right? There's a bunch of these people here that you can go through. And they're very active on our community. So not only can you watch videos on them and kind of learn a little bit about their experience, right, with the courses, but you can also interact with them on our Discord community and actually ask them questions and see how they're all doing. Right.
And Joel was a great example of somebody who was keen and doing work between classes, and every time he came to the next class, he was like ready to go, and he had some questions, and he was able to jump into what we were learning next. He would engage me in between the class sessions, and we were able to answer some questions for him to get him ready for the next class. So he was a really great example of someone who was keen to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joel's a great student. He actually, I think he took all of our courses at this point. I think he's going to sign up for our blockchain course as well, but he's taken all of them, and he's really done some very, very cool stuff. Very smart guy, really dedicated, and built some really cool things. Sometimes another really good guy. I believe last time I checked, he's making like 400% a year on his algorithms, doing really well. Something that he believes in a lot is following influencers and trading off of influencers. He's made quite a bit of money doing that. A game has been around for a while. When he started with us, by the way, a game didn't know how to code at all. He started from scratch, and he's gotten quite good at all this sort of stuff. Renee, I know Renee, I think he got COVID at some point in time, but he's come back in our community more recently. So all these guys are great. We have a couple more that I need to add to here. Limited time, I can't interview everyone, but watch our testimonials, and you guys can get a sense of what it's like to be part of the community, what it's like to take these courses. Don't just take it from us, right? Don't take it from me, don't take it from Neil, take it from our students. Join our community, watch the videos of these people that have taken the courses before, and I think that speaks volumes, right? Is seeing what other people think as well, right? And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this website. I'm going to flip back to the slides here. All right, and I think that's pretty much everything. The course starts soon. The course starts on, the 5th. Just to make sure you guys join this. The 5th of December. It's starting quite soon, right? Again, I know it's holiday season, so I don't want to scare anyone saying starting during holiday season, whatever. We're going to take it easy during the holiday season, so don't feel like this is something like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to have time. Believe me, we're going to take some time off during Christmas and New Year's so you guys can see your families and do that sort of thing. But we are starting on December 5th, and it's starting soon, right? We're starting in 2 weeks, right? So if you guys want to sign up, make sure you sign up soon. One more thing I want to mention as well, before we get into full out question mode, is we have a special going on right now, Black Friday special. So let me pull this up for you guys because I want to make sure you guys can save some money on this. Where the heck is this? There you go. So if you guys sign up by, I'm looking at the thing here, by the 29th of November, so within the next 6 days, you guys can save 25%, right? So there's the code, save 25% by November 25. Right, so I'm putting that in there. Everyone does Black Friday. We're doing Black Friday as well. This is our biggest sale that we've ever done. Right, so if you guys want to save some money, make sure that you use that coupon code on checkout. Basically what it is you'll go in here, select the course, right? And then there's this coupon code here, right? Apply coupon, and you see it, the price drops by, in this case, $900. So if you guys want to, November 29th. Thanks for correcting, Augie. Yeah, November 29th. Yes, exactly. I don't know why I wrote, for some reason I keep thinking like, Thanksgiving, November 25th. It's also my wife's and mine anniversary. So that date is looming in my head. But yeah, it's November 29th is when the coupon code expires. And as you can see, when you use it right now, you save $900, right? So definitely use that code, save it. We're still sending emails and texts about it, but make sure you put that code away, write it down, right? Because that's going to save you like $900, right? So make sure that you use that when you do the checkout by November 25th, right? Cool. And thanks for correcting me there, Avi, because November 25th. I'm thinking about, when am I going to get my wife? I'm going to get some flowers and chocolates and take her out to
That's it. Flowers, chocolate. That's all you can come up with.
we got to come up with something. Maybe you guys can help me brainstorm. Thank you, Avi. I appreciate it.
He works too much.
So we'll play some solitaire. Yeah. My wife will love that. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right, cool. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our presentation. What questions do you guys have? You guys have been asking questions throughout. This is fantastic. I love these questions. But what else do you guys have for us? What else can we tell you about? What else do you want to know? Let's make some money. That's what it's all about here. I know it takes a little bit of time to type out questions. So what else can I tell you about while you guys type this out? Black Friday coming up. Course starts December 5th, so starting very soon. Make sure you sign up. It's like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, Robert. One thing I was going to add, which I don't think I mentioned earlier in this, because I kind of didn't do my bio very well, I don't think, is that I'm the guy who wrote pretty much all the code in Lumibot for options. I think it's fair to say, Robert. Yeah. Give or take, and that's a really big advantage for you to have me as an instructor, because if there's anything that needs explanation, I know exactly how everything works inside the bot, and if we have suggestions for enhancements, there's always the possibility I can do it quickly and have it put into production. I think we had quite a bit of that last course. So, it's not like I'm just coming in and instructing you on this piece of software. I wrote most of the software, and I'm going to teach you how to use it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a very good point. Thanks, Neil. Great point. Cool. All right. Give you guys a little bit more time to write out those questions. I think this is a great presentation. I think this is awesome, right? Again, if you guys want a recording of this, it's going to be on our website under webinars, right? I think pretty soon, we're going to soon just start putting the webinars on the actual page itself for the course. But, and you guys will also get some emails and texts with the recordings as well. Yeah.
All right, Robert, I think that looks like we're not going to have any. Oh,
there you go. So Avi has deployed on AWS or your local box. I deployed on Google Cloud. I like Google Cloud personally. So I have my algorithms running there personally. AWS, same thing, right? Like if you're interested in figuring out how to do this, I could show you how to do this. You can jump on a call, or I could just send you a code. Basically Dockerize it and you put it up on a server, right? So you can either stick it on AWS or Google Cloud, whatever is your preference. I like Google Cloud personally just because they're really good with the machine learning type thing, right? And we use it a lot for machine learning. So that's why I like Google Cloud. I think they're all the same, right? They all kind of converge. Linux, 100% Linux. I don't know. MS Win, no.
Are you showing a bias there?
Definitely a little bit biased there, right? I mean, if you want to run it locally on Windows, that's fine. Like by all means, run on Windows. But as far as like running, yeah, exactly. As far as running it on a server, the reason why I don't like Windows servers is because they cost way too much. They're way too expensive for what they provide. And they're usually less extensible, have less tools available, all that kind of stuff. They're not very good for deploying things into a cloud. If you're running on your own computer, that's one thing, right? By all means, run on a Windows computer, your own computer, no problem, right? I've deployed before to a Microsoft Windows cloud box. It is nothing but headaches, and you're paying more money for less features. Is basically what you're doing. 100% Linux or Unix. Yeah, that's about it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Sarge, thank you. Awesome. Got you. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, honestly, it's been a blast having you guys on board. You guys really sound like you know what you're doing. I think it's fantastic. I'd love to see you guys in either this class or algo trading class, depending on kind of what you're looking for. If you're joining our blockchain class, I am going to be taking it along with you guys because I want to learn how to build some cool blockchain stuff. But yeah, generally, honestly, it was great having you guys on board. Thank you very much for being part of this presentation. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. Both Neil and I are available there. So if you have any questions there, feel free to reach out. And I hope you have a great night.
Thanks a lot for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good night.